K-pop demon hunters. Either you love it, or you love it, or you just love it. I, for one, do love it. Big surprise. And I want to geek out about it for the next 10 minutes. Or 15. I'll probably edit it down to 10. Okay, let's get started. Hello, this is Periscature, and today I just want to geek out about K-pop demon hunters and the world building. I just feel like there's so much fun ideas you can do with not just the adventures ahead, but with the characters we're given in the movie. Now, we all know the characters. If you haven't watched K-pop demon hunters, spoiler alert, here's your first warning and your last. And then pause, watch it, and then come back and we'll geek out about it together. You good? Okay. Now, you've been warned. I just love how there's this fun take of the K-pop demon hunters and how there's this whole legacy behind them of how they're like guardians of the world. But then not only does the movie highlight these characters, but they also really take the time to highlight the demons as well, or more specifically Jinu and how these demons develop, and maybe they're not as monstrous as the hunters thought they were. So basically, Jinu he started off as a human being. Actually, when you think about it, I wonder if all these demons were all just human beings once, but got corrupted by Kima and such. So Jinu, he was struggling. He was a struggling musician with his folks. He had this opportunity to rise above the ranks thanks to Kima, and then he really got corrupted and taken control and had to be his henchman per se. But then again, Jinu, if he had the opportunity, he would probably just like get away, or at least get his memories wiped. Anyways, I'm just saying there's this fun play of the hunters versus the demons, but also they have their backstories, what makes you question, what happens if, Rumi, for example, wasn't a hunter and Jinu wasn't a demon? What if their roles got switched? And that's where I want to geek out about. If I could make the title of this video, it could probably be called "What if Jinu was the hunter and Rumi was the demon?" There we go. So then my first idea was that, okay, let's establish if Jinu's going to be the hunter, let's establish his story, rewrite his backstory and such. What would his story be? I can imagine the whole scene, like it's nighttime in the village. Jinu was running around the streets as usual, trying to, get enough money and food for his family. But at night, he heard something in the shadows. What was that? And then he kept walking faster. But then a demon suddenly approaches out of the shadows and attacks him. But then, boosh, a demon hunter drops by and attacks the demon and saves him just in time. And then Jinu is super thankful for them, but also, wonders if, because he saw in the action how the demon hunter was fighting with their music. So maybe Jinu tracks down the demon hunters, approaches them saying, "Hey, I want to be a part of this as well. Can you please train me?" And then we have the classic training montage where he practices music, but also his fighting skills. A lot of cool action and giving up, self-doubt, but then rising above the ranks, and maybe a little photo of his parents and his family, thinking okay, this is why I'm still here. I'm not gonna give up. And then he gets back up and keeps continuing the training montage until eventually he graduates and becomes the demon hunter. So that would be super fun. And then I don't know how this plays and the timeline wise, because we remember that Jinu was originally from 400 years ago. I can either let Jinu be in the 1600s, or this all happened in the present times. So I think the present time Jinu version can still work. Maybe Jinu is a traditional instrument player, a K-pop vocalist, and then a demon hunter. So he's got all three under his belt. So let's continue indulge in this idea, in this path. Say he does have all those three career paths. Okay, so he's being a K-pop star, but then Rumi comes along as the quote-unquote villain. I'll probably just write a similar story idea of maybe they met in a street performance. At this point, let's talk about Rumi and the Huntrix backstory. So if Rumi's going to be the villain this time, how did she become one in the first place? So I think I definitely want to keep the idea of her being half demon, because I like the whole you're half demon and half human trope, where Rumi can then decide what kind of person she wants to be despite having two completely different upbringings. So here we are in this alternate timeline. Rumi's probably, maybe abandoned, so thus she's probably more vulnerable in her upbringing and fall under the clutches of Kima. Thus, she grew up working for him this time. So now she's been this like demon in her entire life, hunting down other people. I always wondered, like, Rumi, maybe similar to the story of, oh wow, I forgot the name of the girl from Samurai Jack. It's been a while since I watched that show. But basically, it was that girl who's literally half Aku and half human. She did pursue her Aku side her entire life. But we see throughout the show in Samurai Jack, she still has her human side that kind of or not bother her, but pokes her at the back of her head about having more compassion and wonder and curiosity in your life. So anyways, what if Rumi had that similar backstory as well? Maybe she's observing humans as she's about to hunt them, but see how much joy they have in their lives and how, normal they get to live. I can only imagine Rumi having that sense, at least for half a second, a sense of wanting to pursue that life as well. But she can't. She's a demon, as she would tell herself. So she still continues down the demon path. So anyways, there's the context of Rumi. She starts forming the plan that Jinu planned in the original K-pop demon movies, start a whole demon boy band or demon girl band. And I want Mira and Zoe to be there, but I can't explain how Mira and Zoe became demons or just thought this was a good idea to join. Maybe they're not necessarily demons like Rumi. Maybe they're still human, but they didn't know they're working with demons. They probably thought Rumi was just a fellow human K-pop trainee. But either way, the Huntrix are still there in this alternate storyline. Instead of creating a honeymoon, they're hunting down the humans. Anyways, how would the story play out this time then? Is it going to be the same thing or slightly different? Well, I think I still want that similar ending where the bad guys, the demons, or Rumi in this case, will still get redeemed in the end and probably do something heroic, and hopefully doesn't have to resort to such lengths like, I don't know, self-sacrifice and losing the romance of a lifetime. Anyways, I believe we can base this new story a slightly different ending based on Jinu's backstory. I did agree to the idea that Jinu is going to be in the present time and be a K-pop star, but I thought, oh well, wait a minute. Do I have to completely abandon the 1600s Jinu? Because I think, especially after watching the movie, I forgot what the movie's called. I'll explain the story, the synopsis of it. Basically, it's a Korean movie about this guy who got passed away, but he has a chance of reincarnation. So thus, in the afterlife, he had this whole trials and quests he has to face to prove that he's worthy of reincarnation. I forgot what the movie is called, but I'll look it up later and put it here. Anyways, basically my point is that there is this concept of reincarnation. I thought, oh wait a minute, what if Jinu got reincarnated? So he did live in the 1400s, but then he got the opportunity to reincarnate in present time and set things right again, because reincarnation can be symbolized as second chance, So what if Jinu actually did kept the same backstory as the original movie? Maybe he not necessarily became a full-time demon with Kima, but he did had the opportunity as a normal human being to rise above the ranks and be a successful musician, but it came at a crazy cost of completely abandoning his family. So I'm thinking in this alternate timeline, he does regret that as well in this story. And then I'm thinking maybe there was a tragedy or a tragic death for him, like where he did pass away. But that's where the reincarnation opportunity comes in, where he's like, what you did was wrong, but here's an opportunity to get reincarnated, prove your worth, yada yada, and make things right in your new life. He did get reincarnated to present time, and he has the opportunity to make things right with his life and such. Because Jinu has that mindset of, I'm gonna do right with my life this time, I think that will be his great motivation to help Rumi in her redemption arc. Rumi's storyline, being half demon and half human, is kind of similar to Ashi from Samurai Jack. Just like how Jack helped Ashi see the good things in life and be more in touch with her humanity, I think Jinu would do that as well for Rumi. So I can imagine, Jinu is fighting Rumi, and Rumi And Jinu has, I'm gonna imagine, a lawful good viewpoint in his new life now, because again, he's trying to be a good person. So he's thinking when he saw Rumi for the first time, oh, demon, must attack her. But then he sees and realizes, wait a minute, you're half human. So now Jinu has to make a very hard decision where it's not that simple to figure out, where he realized, wait, what should I do with her? Should I like attack her or help her? Maybe like during fight scenes or during their hangout scenes when they meet up, or their save the date. Jinu and Rumi gets to know each other more. And then I think, yeah, Rumi will learn from Jinu her to be more in touch with her human side. But I think Jinu, he can still learn something from Rumi too. But basically, what I want for my main theme for Jinu's story, or rather specifically, what he's gonna learn from Rumi, is that, life is just not that simple. Nobody's perfect, but nobody's a pure monster as well. We all have our flaws and fears and struggles, but there's also the opportunity for us to make good choices in life and do good and help others. But that can really only start when someone is there for you and supports you and believes you and, yeah, loves you and such. All that sappiness. I don't know how the ending's gonna be. I don't know if I want to relive one of them sacrificing themselves. No. Like, I won't get into the details of that as well. No, we're gonna keep things simple and general for now. I think it's still on theme about the whole flaws versus strength. And that's one of the main reasons why I love this film in the first place, and why I'm like geeking out here as well. So thank you for watching. I hope you like my geeking out / rants. If you have any cool ideas you can bounce off of my ideas here, share in the comments. I would love to hear it. So anyways, thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.